From villain minifigures to robo mech riders, ghostly skeletons to giant display pieces, 2025 has once again seen no shortage of new dragons entering the world of Ninjago. So today, let's rank them all and see how they fare against each other and decide what is the best dragon from Ninjago in 2025. Stick around to the end of the video to find out, and let's get into it, starting with last place with this small dragon glider thing from the Ninja combat vehicle. There's not really a whole lot to say about this one. I mean, it's literally just a small little dragon glider that a Dragonian can ride on. It's a cool little inclusion, but again, it's nothing majorly special. I do like the use of the little Dragonian helmet piece as a head for the dragon though as well, but yeah, all in all, it's nothing too special. I mean, it doesn't really hold a candle to some of the small dragons we got in the possession sets, and they were done 10 years ago, so yeah, this is a solid last place. Coming in just in front of that is this little dragon glider thing for Lord Raz from the Aaron and Raz's Superjet thing. Again, this is just a small little dragon build. Is this even a dragon? I mean, it does use the Rayu headpiece in black, which is pretty cool to see, but yeah, again, it is just a small little glider. It attaches onto the back of the jet, which is pretty cool, but yeah, there's nothing too special about this one either. It's just there for Lord Raz to ride around on it. Moving on, and we've got the baby dragon from Lloyd's Green Forest Dragon. This was a pretty cool little inclusion. It's literally just the Rayu piece from 2023, but recolored in yellow, so there's nothing too special about it. Nice to get it, but can't really go any higher on this list that is going to consist mostly of brick-built creatures. And while this next one is also small and simple, Polybag Combiner Vehicle Rayu goes one place higher than the baby simply because it's a brick-built mini model of the larger Rayu. It looks good as a miniature approximation of him, and it can also be rebuilt a tad to combine it into the mini mech, so all around not a bad little Polybag approximation of Rayu. Now we're jumping from tiny dragons to giant dragons. Next, we have got the Arc Dragon of Focus. And yeah, it wasn't the greatest of dragons. I do like the colour scheme, which is kind of split down the middle with purple on one side and tan on the other, and both sides kind of speckled with gold and blue accents, adding a kind of consistency between the two of them. But yeah, the execution was a bit messy, especially around the back here with the function to flap the wings. That whole area just kind of, it wasn't the greatest looking thing. The legs are also really limited in their articulation. The front ones can move about a bit, but the back ones are sadly stuck in place. And so yeah, honestly, just not the greatest creature, but you know, I do appreciate what they were trying to do with it. It did have one exclusive minifigure at the time, which was Zarked, but he's no longer exclusive. You can get him in cheaper sets and better sets now. So yeah, the big draw to this one has kind of disappeared as well, and the build just doesn't hold up that great. Moving on, and we have got this mini Thunderfang coming in next. This was kind of a miniature build of the bigger Thunderfang Dragon, obviously, but it wasn't released as an official set, but rather it was given out as part of LEGO Store building events earlier in the year. But honestly, I do think it looks pretty fun. It's kind of built with mixel ball joints and has the chains hanging off his arms, the gold collar around his neck, and also those bat wings in transparent pink, which so far have only been released in the LEGO Dream sets. So it's kind of nice to see all those little details from the big set get translated over into this miniature version. The instructions are available, so if you want to source the parts out of your own collection and build it, then you can do that, which is really cool. Jumping ahead to bigger and better things, the next dragon on our list is the awesome skeleton dragon from Lloyd's Mech Jet. Now this was a bit limited in articulation. The wings could just flap up and down and the legs could only splay out side to side, but there was good movement in the tail and the head could also move up and down. But the main draw with this one is not only just how good it looks as a kind of bone dragon with all those different blade pieces used kind of in the wings and the blues and the whites making up a really awesome colour scheme, but the best part about this is that you could split the whole thing apart, you could just tear the whole thing apart, and then you could combine it with Thunderfang to make an even bigger Thunderfang model. And I thought that was a really cool little idea. It works as its own little dragon, and it works even cooler, kind of combined, making Thunderfang an even better set than he already is. But let's not spoil where he's going to land on the list. Let's move on ahead to the next dragon on the list, which is Lloyd's Green Forest Dragon. So this is the set that featured that baby dragon we looked at earlier, and yeah, this is just a small green dragon for Lloyd, but it's got some giant wings. I love those wing pieces. They're kind of reminiscent of those old castle wings. They can attach a single claw onto them. There's good articulation in the head and the neck, and just all around it does look pretty cool. The biggest downside with this one are those legs, which are sadly just kind of attached with ratchet joints, so they can only splay out to the side. They would have been much better as mixel joints, but yeah, that is just one small downside to what is overall a really good looking set. Another dragon sharing those wings is of course Rontu, who takes the next spot on the list. Now, her wings aren't as good looking as the Green Forest Dragons, but the rest of her is much better, I think. Her legs are all attached using ball joints, so there is plenty of articulation in there. I love the articulation in the head and the neck. This is a really expressive dragon. I like the colour scheme, it's pretty consistent. There are some unfortunate gaps kind of on the legs, like with those core joints at the front there, which do look a bit unsightly. Putting aside some of the awkward grey spots, on the whole, the texturing is kind of okay for this one. I also do like the little head that she's got. Obviously, the only downside with this one is that weird metal jaw thing that she just doesn't have in the actual TV show, but she's for some reason got that here. But yeah, the rest of the head does look pretty cool, especially with those lanterns kind of hanging off the horns, just like they do in the show. This, I think, has done a decent job at capturing what she looks like in the show. It's not perfect, but just as a rough approximation of what she looks like, as kind of like a Lego-ified version of that, I do think it has turned out pretty good. Now we're entering the top 5, and these next dragons may be a bit surprising. These are the Dragonians. Yeah, I'm putting them in the top 5. These are really cool minifigures. Obviously, we've got the red ones from earlier in the year with the big gunmetal armor, which does look good. I love the mohawked versions of those especially. And then in the summer, we've got the awesome spectral Dragonian ghosts. These ones switched up the red color scheme for a blue one. They've got transparent blue legs and arms, which just look really cool. I love the torso printing on these. And again, they've got that really awesome armor and helmet piece, which lines up to make a cool dragon head that kind of covers their actual face print. And yeah, just all around really, really cool minifigures. I love how these have turned out. They are great villains. And yeah, as far as 2025 dragons go, they are really, really, genuinely some of the best that we have gotten. And jumping into 4th place, we have got Rogue's Mech Dragon Rider. This is a pretty cool little 2-in-1 set. You got a core mech for Rogue, the new kind of J outfit, and then you got this awesome little robot dragon as well, which is basically just like a Ninjago chicken jockey. And yeah, it's got those small little wings that can kind of move around on ball joints that definitely look pretty cool. It kind of looks a bit raptor-like almost. It's got those big chicken legs at the back, and yeah, just the overall look of this thing, it does look pretty good. I love the kind of all the different robotic texturing that's gone into it. It definitely stands out as a robot dragon compared to all the others, which are organic creatures. And it does look really good when Rogue is sat on there with the mech. It just all around has a really solid little silhouette there. And yeah, it's a solid 4th place of 2025's Ninjago Dragons. And Rayu brings us into 3rd place. This is the next stage of Ryu's evolution, which was of course released in the big $100 Ninja Combiner vehicle for Zane. This dragon is not only pretty cool on his own, but he can of course attach to the big Combiner mech as well. He can sit on the back of it and then kind of use his wings to lift it off into the sky. But yeah, overall Rayu has definitely got the best use of those new giant dragon wing pieces, because his are actually sat on ball joints, so there is a lot of articulation you can get from those. You could really flap those about however you want. And yeah, just the overall little design of Rayu, I think they have done a really good job of kind of taking last year's Young Dragon Rayu set and then growing it up a tiny bit. He's got a little bit more articulation in the body, the way the front of his body can kind of lower down, which is obviously just kind of there so that he can attach to the mech, but it still makes for some good poses even when he's not attached. And yeah, they've took the same head, attached that on top, and just the body itself looks like a really cool kind of middle stage between the Young Dragon Rayu that we got last year and whatever big dragon we are going to get in the future when Rayu is all grown up. So yeah, he is easily going into the top 3 on this one. I love how this medium-sized Rayu dragon has turned out, and I can't wait to see how Ryu's evolution continues in the future. And so that brings us to the final 2 dragons. We've got the Guardian Dragon on one side and the Thunderfang Dragon of Chaos on the other. Who is going to take the top spot? Well, this is a really tough one. These are 2 absolutely phenomenal sets, but they are very different in a lot of ways. Obviously, on the one hand, we've got the Guardian Dragon, which is basically a big display model. This dragon has virtually no articulation at all. You can move the arms and the head and the tail a little bit, but the wings are completely fixed in place. The legs are stuck in place and attached to the base. You can remove those to get the base on its own, but the dragon is pretty much useless on its own. It is really intended as a display model, and as a display model, it does look really, really good. This is such an incredible looking set, and the Master Wu minifigure that was included makes a really great addition to the beautiful little kind of mountain pond display area at the bottom that the whole thing is sat on. I love the way the water flows out of the mountain fountain and into the pond below, and obviously we've got the little kind of gateway over into the Shrine of Fire that sits below it all. Yeah, just all around a fantastic little model. But then on the other side, we have got Thunderfang. This is a full-on dragon playset that we're kind of used to. He's got a really awesome red and purple color scheme. He looks absolutely fantastic, so menacing. He's got the lots of articulation in his arms and legs. The legs are on big ratchet joints like the Rogue Mech Dragon and can move all over the place. And while the arms do use core joints, giving them those exposed holes in the elbows, they actually utilize them really well, since that's where you can combine the feet of the skeleton dragon when you're making the bigger Thunderfang model by combining the two together. So yeah, honestly, it kind of wiped away my complaint about how he initially looked there, because yeah, that combination feature really does elevate this from what was already a fantastic set to something that is just so much better. So which of these is going to take that top spot? Well, it is a really tough decision. Like I said, these are both incredible sets in very different ways. The Guardian Dragon is a phenomenal display model, while Thunderfang not only looks good, but also plays well too. He has a fantastic colour scheme and is packed full of articulation, and really it's that extra versatility that Thunderfang has to offer that means that out of all the dragons Ninjago has offered up in 2025, the Thunderfang Dragon of Chaos is my pick for the best of the whole year. Of course, that is all just my opinion though. Feel free to share your own thoughts in the comments down below. How would you rank all of Ninjago's dragons in 2025? And yeah, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again very soon.